Hey, hi. Okay, so we are at day 5 of the self-love challenge, the 10-day self-love challenge. And I did not plan this, but I went to an appointment today with a quantum healer. So this man works with the physical body using quantum medicine. So I will go into that in a different video. But today I want to, because we are in the self-love challenge, I wanted to give you 3 elements of self-love that I want you to chew on. I want you just to think about it and see if these things resonate with you. If you think I'm full of shit, that's okay. Tell me, email me, leave it in the comments. I don't care. Just let me know your opinion. Your perspective is really important for me with the work that I do because I have my own world. I live in my head. I live in my body. I live in my world. We're each our own sun, and the world revolves around us as individuals, and then we overlap, and that's when things get really interesting, right? But in my world, I got 3 elements of self-love that I want to talk about with you. And I went to this quantum doctor today, and he's really, really interesting. I will talk about this in another video, but one of the things that I know, and the reason why I'm really excited to meet this guy, is because I 100%, I'm going to say believe, because I don't like to, I don't want to say I 100% know, even though it's my knowing. The reason I say it like this is because in this 3-dimensional world in which we're all sharing, and we're sharing the 4th dimensional collective consciousness, what we know is not factual. Like it's not necessarily real. There's some things that are real for some people, and there's some things that are not real for other people. That's kind of like just the human experience 101, but it's also something that's being scientifically shown with quantum theory, with like quantum medicine. So anyway, for me, I've been having this great emotional and spiritual awakening, and life is feeling good. Things are exciting. Things are exciting as hell. I'm really, really, really happy. And at the same time, my physical body is breaking down. And according to my world, that doesn't make sense. There's something that is going on below the surface that I'm not really looking at, right? And I'm sorry, my selfie stick broke. My selfie stick broke. I don't have a way to hold my camera, so I have to hold it with my hand. Yeah, right? My arms get tired. So, I'm going to see this quantum doctor because his approach is that, look, he says, I'm going to look at your body using this quantum approach where he's looking at the energetics of my body. So sure enough, he puts these nodes on my forehead. I hold them in my hands, and I put my feet on them. And the thing starts measuring my energy. And I already know a lot about my own vibration. I know what's going on intuitively. I know what's going on with my organs. As a matter of fact, I told the guy, I said, okay, I feel like this is deficient. I feel like this is deficient. I feel like this is overworking, and I feel like this is overworking, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yep, that's exactly what his readings came up with as well. So with this machine, it's neat. You hold on to these nodes, and it measures all these different, it measures like the frequency of your different organs. So what I learned though from this doctor, because again, I am going to actually do another video about all the things I've learned from him specifically. But when I went into him, what we talked about in our session was, he's like, okay, so what's going on? And I started telling him my ailments. And then I said, so look, I got to be really honest with you. And if you don't mind, I'm going to talk, in the way I would love to talk to someone. And he says, yeah, go ahead. And so I started telling him about all the energetic systems, that I know, the things that I talk about from my perspective. I talk to, people in terms of, pain, what's working and what's not working, the scientific, biological stuff. I talk to people in terms of that. But to myself, I don't talk in terms like that. In terms of myself, I talk in terms of wind and earth and static or stagnancy and blockages and free flowing. And, there's all sorts of analogies, because I don't, for what I'm describing within myself, the science doesn't meet it for me. Yeah. So I got to talk to this man in terms of, emotions and in terms of feeling sensual things, like things that were special, like, like being able to say to your doctor, yeah, it feels like my heart is like a candle, and it's, the light that's burning within the candle is slowly dripping, and that's how it feels like my energy is right now, and he could totally relate to this kind of thing. And it felt really good to have somebody to talk to like that, So what it came down to, we looked at all of my issues. He's like, okay, he did the reading with the machine, and he's like, yeah, you've got lots of parasites and worms and bacteria, and the issues with your leg is this, and you have that, blah blah blah, all these things, just confirming. And of course we all have parasites and bacteria in us, but it's when they go out of balance, that's when we have trouble. So he's like, yeah, your stuff's out of balance, so we need to work on that. And he's like, but at the same time, I'm going to do all this work on your physical body. You're going to take these herbs. We're going to get your body back into balance. But you do realize that you have to do the inside work. And I said, yeah, it's perfect, because I've started doing the inside work, which is why I'm finally now feeling ready to actually start doing something about the physical self. Now, of course, when you are taking care of yourself on the inside, the physical body will respond to that without a doubt. But sometimes you also need a little help, because you're going to not necessarily get everything perfect, and you shouldn't try. So use whatever your mind thinks to help you get whatever it is you need, So for me, I feel like I wanted to talk to someone else. I felt like I wanted to have someone that I trust tell me what I already know and prescribe for me. It's what I do for my clients, My clients come to me looking for what, healing or some kind of awakening, but I'm not giving them healing. All I'm doing for my clients is reflecting them back to them. They'll say, oh yeah, I don't like this person because they speak down to me. And I might say something like, okay, well, let's look at some of the values you have where you might be speaking down to yourself. And they say, yeah, well, I always talk down to myself. I don't ever speak about myself to myself as if I do something right. I'm always looking at what I do wrong. I'm like, all right, well, let's work with that, So it's not like I'm healing or waving a magic wand. All I'm saying is, do you realize that you talk to yourself like crap? So it's not surprising that other people in the world will talk to you like crap. Let's try you changing your dialogue first. Talk to yourself, find a relationship with yourself, and then let's see how the rest of the world responds to that, right? So that actually is Self-Love 101. And when it came down to it, the quantum doctor said, you got to make sure that you're loving yourself. Well, what a coincidence that I'm participating in my very own 10-day self-love challenge. So for today, I wanted to talk to you all about self-love, and I made 3 points that I got from today's. This is my third time doing this symbol. I should probably get onto it because it's already 10 minutes into the video. I'm just getting warmed up. All right, but I'm going to make this very, very quick because I want it to be a quickish video. So there are 3 points for self-love. The first is 100% confidence in yourself. So I'm saying that true self-love means that you have 100% confidence in yourself. And it doesn't mean that you are 100% perfect. It's that you 100% trust yourself to deliver something, and you trust yourself so much that even when you mess something up, you still love and trust yourself. You don't say, oh, I fell off that horse. I'm not getting back on the horse again because I might fall off again. I can't be trusted. Or I got into a car accident. I'm not going to get into the car and drive again because I can't be trusted, or the universe can't be trusted. It's, you know what? I fell off the horse. I got to get back on that horse again. I'm capable. I'm worthy. I can do this. So the first tenet of self-love is having 100% confidence in yourself. And when you find that when you find that you are short on something. So for example, let's say that you don't know how to do something well. You don't beat yourself up and say, I'm a failure. What you do is you go and get yourself educated, or you go and hire somebody who knows how to do it better than you. You pay them. You let them handle that part of your life. You go get yourself a coach. You go get yourself a trainer. And you know that with a little help, you can do it. To me, that is 100% confidence in yourself. When you trust yourself enough to keep going, that to me is a tremendous affirmation of self-love. That you trust yourself enough, and even when you mess up, you are back in the saddle, going for it again, getting the coaching, the training that you need, and ready to move forward. Okay, that's the first point. The next part of self-love is having the courage to let your vision be whole and real. So you could have, when you're young, you got all sorts of visions for yourself. And as time goes on and you have some experiences and you have some negative dialogues that build up, you lose your vision. So self-love is being authentic and loving yourself enough to listen and to go in and search, nurture, and tease out your real deepest, like your highest vision. So for me, and I've watched myself go through this kind of rigmarole, for me, like my ultimate dream is to have a farmhouse in France. I'm still not really sure. I keep saying this, farmhouse in France or Tuscany, and it's a bed and breakfast. There's a vineyard, or there are vineyards. There's a garden. There are yurts where people can stay. There's a yoga shala, and lots of rolling hills, and people have to work to get there, meaning you have to like take a bus, take a train. It's not really close to the city. There's a lot of land around, and I'm the queen of that domain. It's mine. That's my dream. Yeah. And let me tell you, I have had so many bastard offsprings of that dream, and I have to keep reminding myself to go back to that dream, to keep knowing that that is already mine. And this year, because I've been doing so much work around self-love and I've done so much shadow work in my past, but when the 9-year ended at the end of 2016, That was the end of that cycle. So for me, energetically, I was done. Now I am ready for the light. And believe me, I'm so excited about my French farmhouse. It might be in Italy. I just don't speak Italian, and I don't know much about Italy. I've only been to Italy like twice in my life, but France I know, and I just love France so much. Oh my God. I could see myself with lavender fields and sunflowers and long walks through the mountains, rolling hills and sheep and chickens. Oh my God. It makes me happy, and a dog and some horses and wine at night and candles and an outdoor fireplace and people coming in, from all around the world coming, and I get to take care of them, and I get to help them, to provide them with a beautiful place to stay and a beautiful experience. I love it, God. Thank you. That's what I want. So self-love is acknowledging what you want. Hey, a farmhouse like what I want is going to cost me millions of dollars, and it's going to require, for all that land and managing all that land, it's going to require a lot of management experience and a lot of management skill. And it's not like I've, done all that exactly precise thing around property before, but fuck that, I feel confident. I already know it's done. This is what self-love is. Self-love is having the highest aspect of your dream and knowing that it is going to be. You don't have to necessarily know how it's going to be. You just have to be able to have that feeling inside. If you have that feeling inside, then that is your point of attraction, and that is going to draw to you every single thing that you desire. It is very exciting. So that is point 2. Knowing your dreams, listening to your heart, and trusting your feelings, and the universe are going to deliver to you all the tools you need. Watch, within 5 years, you will be visiting me on my own farmhouse. Within 5 years, you will be visiting me on my farmhouse in Provence, or maybe set back a little bit. There's an area that I have in mind that I just absolutely fucking love. It's called Saint-Martin-de-Palier. That area is exquisite. Oh my God, the rolling hills, the trees, it's a little bit dry. Oh my God. So much happiness is going to be there for me, and you get to come and visit with me and hang out, and I will make you salad, and we will drink wine or sparkling water, champagne, and yes, I'm ready, man. It is on, baby. And the third thing is affirming self-love. The third element of self-love is the affirmation of self-love. And you affirm things, not just with your mouth, not just with your words, but by your deeds, with your actions. So if you say you love yourself, then by golly, you need to act like it. If you say that self-love for you is being abundant, then you got to act like it. You need to give of yourself. You need to share of yourself. You need to put it out into the world. And you have to say yes to the world when it delivers you something. Stop saying no to the world. You got to say yes. Everything that comes to you, even stuff that your mind wants to reject, you called that into you. You are not a victim. You called that into you. So you got to deal with that, and you don't deal with it by saying no, because that's an affirmation of resistance, right? That focus that you put on what you don't want is an affirmation of what you don't want. That's not what you want to put out. You want to focus on what you do want, and you want to keep affirming that. So when something that you don't want comes in, you don't say no to it and push it away. That's putting your energy into the no. Instead, what you say is, I see you. Get out of here. Keep on moving. That's the way I do it. For me, the idea is that I don't say no to anything. I allow and I move through. I allow things to move through, to keep moving, to keep the energy moving. I've lived way too much of my life in resistance to things. Now look, I'm not talking about this like this is a truck coming at me. Gosh darn it. I mean, although I have to say, honestly, if a truck is coming at me and it's going to hit me, if I'm getting hit, the best thing I can do is to go with the flow of the truck, as opposed to either saying solid so that the truck is just smashing me to bits. At least if I'm moving along with the truck, I think that there's some momentum that's going in the same direction, and maybe that's a little better. It still sucks though to get hit by a truck. That is not okay. Nah. Not a great example. Luckily, I don't have that happening in my life. As a matter of fact, I've never had that happen even once. If I take something more practical, for example, getting a bill from out of the blue that I didn't know about. I just was slapped with $1,000 bill. I did not see it coming. I was totally blindsided. And the thing is, I was out spending money like I have a budget. I live very much by my budget. But I did not have this budgeted in, and my heart was kind of broken when I learned about the bill. And so the bill is coming at me. Here it is. It's in. Boom. Now, I could either resist the bill, which would be like me fighting the bill, or I could say, all right, Bill, you're here. Come on, let's work this out. How am I going to do this? I'm going to work on my budget. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, save this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to contact this. I'm going to do that. Whatever you're going to do. Either way, there's not this fight of this bill is here. This sucks. I don't want this bill. I'm not fighting something that's there. Stop fighting what's there. Take your power. Stand up and say, all right, you're there. There is a time to resist, by the way. But most of the time, instead of resisting, you gotta, that sounds really wacky. Because I'm not convinced that there's never, I feel like there is a time, I feel like in my life there are times when I should resist. However, I think that someone who was a higher vibrational being would probably not resist those things. They would see another way. And I think that resistance is necessary sometimes, because that's the level of consciousness where I am. Anyway, okay, so I've gone way off track. 22 minutes in, getting ready to go to 23, totally signing off, wishing you a really great day filled with self-love and affirmations of self-love and a deeper understanding of self-love. I wish that for you. And I wish the same thing for me. I can't wait to tell you about my appointment with the quantum doctor. He was so awesome. Maybe I'll interview him so that you can meet him. He's really articulate. He's Croatian, but his English is excellent. He's just, Croatians are really well educated. They take education very seriously. They have to in order to speak this damn Croatian language. I just took my 3rd class, or maybe it was my 4th class of Croatian. 3rd class. So challenging. Oh my God. All right, signing off. Bye for now. Oh, if you haven't signed up for the self-love challenge, you can do that on my website.